100%. And I do feel like their performance today is going to hinge on a few things. Yesterday, their win against UNCW felt a bit labored, even though it was a 2-0, just because at times you were hinging on these clutch players, and UNCW had some more flashier clutches. And I do think that's where Nami as a player can come in clutch and really develop this team, as well as Revenge is a lot of pressure on him, stepping in for Rice balling, right? And he has delivered the multi-kills in those clutch factor moments, but our bind compositions are ready, and I want to touch on this Baker Swarm comp first, because I feel like this is what expected, right? They were running Neon Rays before. We said Jet Rays has been a standard replacement on most maps, but we literally tried to dumbbell it, and I joked to him, I'm like, you just let Nami pick whatever duelist you want, right? And he's like, yeah, pretty much. Because any double duelist does feel like it functions in the current meta. The only thing it can change is if you have flashes or not, and in a comp like this, when you have Sky, it does not matter.
I'll be interested to see how well Revenge can do, because Sky isn't one of those traditional things where you're like, okay, it has all this duelist tools to get you so many picks, but it still has flash, it has opportunities, and you need to still find stability from this pick overall. So for Fisher College, they'll start out on their attacking side. Baker Swarm on the defense. Let's have ourselves a semifinal.
Oh, and here it is. That Waylay still up in front and center. Can be that go button if carefully planned, but it's silent. Scaling the Waylay already into U-Haul, ready to strike up against Hijinks.
The pressure here coming through from Cuz, right outside of Lamps. And this is a good one with a possible upgrade of the weaponry and a possible force into sight. This is a very mobile map. You've got to be wary of those teleporters at every single moment. Ladder moves. There's a lot on their back here this series, and already starting with a headhunter, missed shot, Cycle find the headshot, and it's going to be a teleport play from Demon that'll be able to cut him down from behind. It's 2 for 2. It's Fisher College up 1 as Revenge gets their 1 back.
That is a crazy location for the anchor to be. It shut down the TP play, kind of shut down that sand fight, and they get the A pivot. They get to keep that deep space control instead of giving up while the timer runs down. Speaking of that timer, it just got accelerated.
Cuz just swings on in, why not? You're the Waylay with all that space. It is the Falcons to steal away round 1.
Fisher College on the board. It is difficult. Your Chamber, that's one of those players that has to be online from the get-go when it is a warm-up style map, because they are very live and die by the side anchor with that rendezvous not far behind. So we'll see if they get the blood pumping. No, like Martial or Outlaw Force, which I feel like is characteristic, but when it was so one-sided over towards Fisher, minus that sand engagement, I think that makes sense. So, all in all, getting ready to jump into round 2. I would say a lighter buyout than maybe I would be expecting from Fisher. Fisher has like 2 settings. One where they underestimate their opponent, get a little silly with the buys, with the comps, and one where they show respect. I feel like Baker's one that's gained their respect, and I saw that this tournament with them switching, right, their compositions on the fly for the same map, depending on who their opponent was in the group stage.
And I think that's critical. I mean, when you talk about a team and how they're able to adapt, not just say, okay, this is the strategy we're going to play, they can recognize the strategies that their opponents are bringing to the field, be able to counter them, and then work from that as well. This is also a map where it feels so fluid on the offensive side. You have to make a lot of moves with those teleporters, but it is also just at a base level a 2-side map. So you would expect for Baker, you don't want to let it get this offensive side out of hand, or Fisher could run away with this map.
All right, another Sam play coming through. Guiding Light to set it up. The Brimstone will likely communicate it, and then now you have to worry about this double duelist backstabbing on Hookah before they rescale out.
I mean, they're already inside. Cuz is just going to be able to get on back to their original location. Psych. First kill on Nami, and it's already pressure the other way from Blast. You have this Viper who's just has the Viper wall, has all the location the other way, and that means they're going to pull out the teleport play. So all down to 1 here in the backside. Ladder moves can do nothing to the SMG of Blast. 5v3, and they're going to try and retake height.
Nasty stinger kill, and now they're on the CT choke as well, so strength and numbers may not be enough for Bakersfield to even make a dent to this Fisher College anti-eco.
Demon dies to the Marshal at long range, and Jeffy is able to put him down. With only 2 players left to go here, again, still looking to try and find some kills. Revenge is dancing around. They have a crossfire, but it's going to be Cuz who still wins 1. Cuz going to find them both. Flawless round, double kill.
Caught with their hand away from the trigger on the disco moves there and Spawn, I guess. But again, it's going to be a slow start. This is a team that is very energy based. We heard it in the pits yesterday. I got to stop by that quarterfinals versus UNCW. It was trash talk back and forth, right? Standing up, yelling, taunting, even in all chat during clutches. I think UNCW spurred that out of Baker, and this is going to be more serious tone. But all in all, that round is fun because you see how definitive, how confident Fisher College are on these rotates, right? They're utilizing the Waylay more for that information collection because they don't have a firm scan because it is that solo sky, and I love that. They get the one, they see 3 more, and they're like, we're dipping into our blast lurk. And that's going to be a consistent factor, but not this round. Bonus is you need that force in numbers. Hefty Hookah challenge, but there is a B-stack C-long still concealed.
It's going to be Cuz who's going to swing on in. Just ability to dash in. Revenge finds one, and Demon has just been slaying out. Finds a double kill down long. Fisher is reduced to just the Waylay here, and the spike's still down inside the ground of the actual site, and it's Nami who finds the cutback from the teleporter.
And it is very fitting that ladder moves and Demon are that big win condition, that duo that is the only remaining members from the initial founding of this team that are going to front the majority of the kill bill, it feels like, in this matchup, and it is a requirement. So Demon already showcasing that prowess early on, getting warmed up when ladder moves maybe have that little whiffy start, is a good indicator of the balance that they're going to be able to strike. But for now, Fisher College coming to the next round. Again, that was their bonus. Didn't really do too much damage, but with their own psych on the back, I'm curious to see how fast they're going to go. If it's going to be that slow default pivot or if it's just death ball central towards shower.
Well, Fisher does also have this run it back that could be really interesting in an earlier round like this, especially one that hinges so hard on the economy. Cuz forced away from the paint shells. Blast is going to line him up. Oh, stacks up the headshots for a double kill. Might even find an extra snake bite. Revenge doesn't find the kill. That's a triple.
Oh, this is what we meant by not being warmed up. That tracking that shot should have been so easy. He had the snake bite out. And now Blast has practically terraformed this B site and is looking for more, is looking for the ace as the lurk player, Llama.
Oh, that'd be insane to help build up the ultimate as well. Blast will not get the AC here as Nami is able to shut them down. Realistically, I mean, for Baker, this might just be a save. You've got rifles. They still haven't planted it yet, but they've got 2 ultimates to shut you down. They smoke off spawn, and there's just no chance to get it.
That's such an early call, and I don't know how I feel about it. I like long-term thinking, but also I feel like when it's a 2v4, I do feel like you have a duelist online that can pop off, and you really wanted to be able to get some of these duelist ultimates out, and if you made it close but not win the round, that alone I think would be worth those 2 rifles, because now, even when you save those weapons, it's going to be half buy versus the ult, so the odds of converting off of that save, to me, are lower than the chance of them winning out the 2v4.
See for Baker how it pays off in the long run, and actually Fisher is going to go hunting to try and steal away these 2 remaining rifles. That'd be worst case scenario if these 2 die here and they didn't get the round win. They weren't able to save away, but they are just going to bunker up here. Hijinks outside of, or inside of the showers. And there it is, round over. Nami going to go and actually find a kill on the backside. So headshot, Fisher loses 1 more, and 5 players survive.
Nice off angle there. Saves the shield more than anything. That full shield investment can get pricey as well. But this is that big swing round for me, right? We were talking about this before. Obviously, favorite is Fisher. Has been 2-0 after 2-0. And with that, if Fisher win this round, I think it's going to be one-sided blowout. More so than some of the closer matches they've had in that double-digit territory like we were expecting. But I agree with you. You were pointing out, you're like, ladder moves, glass cannon operator on the force up. I think this is smart. You're not going to expect it because you usually look at the scoreboard like 4,700. Nope. All right, no up. And it could go.
It's just enough to buy one, but the question is for Baker, can they find the value here? Not only this round, but that operator needs to survive for a few to get full value. It's going to be Blast who finds first blood again. Ladder moves is dead. There goes the operator, and already it's going to force Baker's hand. They're going to look for a swing out here. Demon stacked on a 2v2, and Jeffy still wins it. It's a double for nothing. Fisher's found 3 individual solo kills. They're going to run this down. Hijinks finds 1 back, but it's a combat stim to try and get them away. A nice double triple. There goes the spike. All of a sudden, no winnable round for Baker.
Wow, and Hijinks was one of those players said, we're going to have some fun today. Was I think a little nervous, though, about the match, and I think is showing up here when it matters most. Again, deciding because I've been in the hardest time on this Baker Swarm side, but they are defending the Hive right now, rotating over, grouping up. They have Spike under their control, and with 35 seconds left, it makes sense. Up, collected, Nami on the line, ready?
Good for 1. That op will get some value. Will get some double value. Oh, it's a full house here from Baker Swarm.
And Nami is a fun race pickup on this map because Nami's more been that secondary, that supporting duelist, right? The less meta pick on the map, playing that chaos element. And you don't expect them to be putting up the same numbers or more so than Demon typically. And here, because Raze is so intrinsic to Bide at this point, it makes sense. The util effective, the op shots landing, and now we get to see if in the back in Nami's hands over ladder moves, if it functions successfully.
They get to save away that operator. They get some shields back for themselves. Fisher, though, they've got a ton of ultimates, 4 to work with. I wonder how they'll use them here because they have so many. I'm expecting Psyche's ultimate to come out here sooner rather than later just because it is that quick charge of the Phoenix, only 6 ultimate orbs in total. The question is, Baker's not really giving them too much information to work off of early round.
Yeah, that's a pace change from them. I feel like they would reveal at least one early, make noise early. They were trapping these early engagements a little deeper, but this is why they were so slow. They want to pop out off the right back and catch them by surprise.
Cuz is going to go in, Psyche's going to find the kill there. It's a first blood to Fisher, and they're going to use actually double ultimates as the Seeker's invested as well to gather some intel. The question is, with losing sort of that hookah space, how do you fight this?
I don't know, even when you get out of the choke, I'm expecting a conversion pass here. If they don't use it to set up an elbow fight to begin with.
Ladder moves, has 2 in front of him. Headhunter not going to connect. 8 HP is not really what you want to fight off of, but a shotgun isn't either. Cuz and a teammate both going to find the one, and Fisher College running over this B side. Sure, there's a pincer flank coming through from Revenge, but they've got to cut down. Cuz finds the double, and Nami really just needs to save this rifle.
Oh, and I was still expecting 3 players to exit towards that defender spot, but they are taking the safe route for the time being. Maybe hoping to catch them on the rotate into a deep shower, in towards cave, but Heaven line held, sight, and they're good to hold on to an operator. And this is where I sometimes despise an operator purchase, is when it feels like it's a crutch, a chain dragging you down because you feel the pressure to save it round after round. And if there is a player, or a coach I should say, that can appease pressure, it is Dumbbell. Again, he was the loudest one in that quarterfinals match versus UNCW, celebrating the win. So I know he can correct the mental for this squad, knows what it takes. And right now what it takes, it does feel like, is getting the Rays active. Nami, again, was at the hinge point of some of those side anchors effectively, is the one holding on to the op right now for ladder moves. Speaking of ladder moves, I think one off now from the Tour de Force, if I'm not mistaken. So that should be coming online as well to help supplement the economy here if this next buy round doesn't go their way. Was last round a full force or was it a half buy?
It's a full force, I believe. So
maybe they get an orb and pop it this round? Well, hopefully, that's, optimistically.
I think too.
And the blades, wait, this is such a strong eco-con now that I look back at it.
I will say as well, Baker, like, if you had more kills in that round, I'd actually be happy, because you got 3 ultimates out on the other side. That's what cost them the round for Fisher to win it. So, at the end of the day, though, the Viper's Pit is the one ultimate you want to save that can just solo win a round for you. And it's kind of interesting because both these compositions, when we flip sides, Baker's going to have so much offensive utility to hit those sides, but I'm interested in how they will attack this Viper with the side switch.
Ooh, yeah, Blast. I mean, almost ace solo lurk can open up a site for the rotate is going to be really, really good on the solo anchors. But for now, it's a little bit different a pace from Baker Storm, fighting down on the forward line, off of that rendezvous for ladder moves. In the meantime, again, back towards a default, looking for those changes is what Fisher does outside of a timeout. And no pressure, no pop, aggressive play, a short. It's your standard double duelist take towards shower, and eyes drawn towards Nami in this nasty offing, and the showstopper in hand.
Oh, this could find multiple here. Pixel angle. Turning off the vision for us and them. Flash goes out, nice curveball to follow. It's a blast back, doesn't get him to safety. Cuz will find one, it's a nice trade on the backside. The knives around, and Demon has sliced him apart. Hijinks finding the double. Spike down outside of Showers. It has to be a push now from Fisher if they want to try and regain the space, and it will be exactly there. Cut down again, Demon's found the double. The Dagger's finding everything. Ladder moves could end it with a bang. Revenge through the side wall, through the corner. Jeffy is down to just a single bit of HP. Don't breathe on him.
Spike down, shower. This is a hard recovery mission.
Revenge is just going to play it slow. Backside Tetris, Jeffy finds the headshot on the operator player. And now Revenge doesn't have the best HP. Self-heal could be available.
15 seconds.
Don't want the timing to expire here. Jeffy has to go. It's just a kill from Revenge. A crazy closeout, and a breath of fresh air for Baker.
I mean, after such a dynamic opening from Hijinks, that was way closer than it should have been for Baker to pull that round out. The 1v1 revenge, again, being that closer that we mentioned in the pre-show, has been a nice supplement to the existing Baker core. It's exactly what they needed to right the ship, make it close, 1 round, in fact, and they are the ones on the ult uptick. If they win this round, it'll be a half buy from Cousin Jeffy to front the bill hero rifle style in the next to keep Fisher afloat. And I'm feeling that the tides turn a bit.
Jeffy was going to lock in the Odin there for a second, but decides against it here. So is Baker actually buying 4 rifles? They'll also activate the tour de force here to see if they can find some longer range picks. Again, them on the defensive side trying to deny Fisher from a half win because this composition is going to be really tough to work into when they get onto the defensive side. Fisher also has stalled long enough that they have 2 ultimates of their own. Because of some experimental looks, won't find the space and just teleports back.
All right. That's where Cuz has been the best, is again framing them for these execs, finding the openers, throwing players like Nami off position with effective dashes in and ladder moves. And the op has not been a standout yet like we normally see. The openers have not been a standout like we normally see. But again, it's warm up, it's 9 a.m., get the caffeine flowing, get the kills moving. I don't know how I feel about this. Both of them are doubled up here because of the deep trademark, but how fast do you pivot? There's the answer.
Launching over towards where the dog is coming from. Revenge steps forward, finds a kill on the blast. What is the answer, though, from ladder moves here? Is it enough? They already activate the Seekers here to slow him down, but Fisher, they will not be slowed. Entering in, Revenge is stuck out as Cuz finds that kill. The health bars aren't great, but the heals come through. Showstopper, blast 1. It's immediately traded, though, and it's right back in. Finally, the Tour de Force finds some value, but this 2v2 is falling apart as Hijinks dies.
Oh, when it's consistent flashes, this double flash is getting so annoying for an op player.
Oh, Psych just walks through, triple kill goes in. What a fast hit from Fisher through the ultimates.
Yeah, it's difficult because the Seekers were smart. You needed to invest those if you were Baker Swarm. It caught that 4-stack, but it also revealed the position as well there of Revenge, right? And that's how they frame it. They force the op to TP with the Waylay dash, and suddenly you can challenge the sky alone. And after that, the orbital strike was perfect to ensure that ladder moves could get on the refrag. The only thing I wish happened was ladder moves getting back on the line alongside that showstopper instead of it being a bit disconnected.
Talk about disconnected. I mean, for Baker, they are going to have no money, but also no ultimates to work either for or towards. They're all basically back down to the starter setup. So Fisher has a chance to really put some rounds together. This time it's going to be Cuz who's got their own scoped weapon. Outlaw connects. Revenge is also one shot.
Eco killer for sure. TP play, though, coming in through. Quick, effective. They need to clear out Psych. Oh, Hijinks has gotten a gun upgrade at least, but I was going to frame it as a 1v4. And this is going to be on the other side of the map.
And Nami, 4 sheriff shots is a lot to ask for here. Baker want to try and make them overinvest, but with all the smoke still available, land these first. No, it's going to be Blast who finds the extra kill on the end of things. And realistically there, a really good rotation in from Fisher, realizing they just don't have the weapons to fight you. You've got the Outlaw, like you said, it's the eco killer. You find 2 kills with that, and you can really slice up those long angles of B with that weapon.
And I love how they trust in Cuz to be the solo entry, even on the nerfed Waylay, because Psych was the one holding down Sand, right, lurking. And the speed in which Twin also double back and refragged, prevented that hero rifle from getting picked up, is what keeps that round close, keeps the money thriving, and reserves these ultimates for now a chance to solidify their lead in this half. Knocking on the door of 7, we'll see if they can do it, or Baker Swarm can sting back on this buy.
I also think, funny enough, buying those shares in the last round actually makes it so 3 of them are on light shields here in this one too for Baker. So everything matters, and every single kill will go down as an economical boost here. Fisher lead by 3 with 3 ultimates to go. Waylay's just going in as fast as possible to grab the information, and then it's going to be back to grab the ultimate orb. I wonder if they want to enter through this because they know so many players are here.
Oh, I'm expecting the incendiary out from the Brimstone, delay enough for these rotations to come through. And it is going to be a dual commitment out of the trio here towards A to handle this execution, and they still have so much for this exec. Blast already finds the opener. Now you have the convergent paths or the run it back to lead into.
Well, here's the run it back. Psych is going to go very quick here. First death goes, but it's an immediate trade. Revenge needs to go massive here on the side, and Demon does find the headshot. All of a sudden, a little bit more doable, but Psych still uses that second life. The speed of the Phoenix, they don't even need to get the plant. They're just looking for their ideal gunfight. And Nami from this high ground, all that's left. Headshot one. Can isolate this second, but if Fisher's smart, they don't peek. Blind is good, or peek off the blind. Curveball still available. Psych finds the double.
And Psych has replaced, it feels like, the Neon in a lot of spots. Like, okay, we can have the stun oppression, the dash oppression, we're bringing the flashes. And it's so uncharacteristic, it feels like, on Vine that you're not used to having to dodge those curveballs left, right, and center, right? And so it's definitely a strikeout right now for Psych in the server. And double flashes, too. It's just so difficult to navigate for Baker Swarm. I think that's where the learning curve is coming from, where the trouble in getting these round throughs lie. And it does feel like this half is going to be pretty decisive for Fisher College. Still has that embankment of ultimates, the pit, the convergent paths, Baker Swarm again, money resets, sheriffs, and stingers this time around. And I just want an opener to go their way.
Feels like everything has been going Fisher College way, and honestly, even this round is going to be another eco round, not only because of the setup from Fisher in the rounds in a row, but how cleanly they've been able to win the rounds and not giving over 1v1 potentials and that extra eco. Setup here, shakedown, trying to shut out Cuz. And this could be good. You've got one chance to do it, one chance to execute on this B long force up. And Nami's going to go from behind. Demon will find that kill, so that's a big one. You can get the upgrade for sure, but now the pressure will flip.
Again, this is where Fisher College have had super informed rotations, where Blast is taking shower space without contact, and Trailblazers should set up the exec, but Sight holds been light and hydrant. Had a stand-up moment last time anchoring backside. Let's see if we can do it again.
There's the molly, flashed away, there's just no chance. Ate that one hole, Psych will find the headshot. And it's gonna be up towards that high ground tower. Fisher applying the pressure. Playing the Viper's Pit. They're going to invest the ultimates here. Spike is going to be planted. And for Baker, what is even the answer here? Walk in with some sheriffs, hope for the best. Look for this ISO kill. They won't even get Psych. Already on a double kill. Pulls out the utility, survives, thrives, and is tearing down Baker with one more to go.
A little troll in there, but still Blast with the shorty finds the three-piece, and Fisher College get up to 8. I will say, though, again, it's been this entire trio of Psych, Blast, and Cuz that ultimately are just being menaces of their own accord. Psych, again, closing off the flashes. Blast has always diffed ladder moves, it feels like, this map, and Cuz has been getting all the information to frame those engagements into the site. And Psych as well, I want to highlight him, right? He doesn't play consistently with this team, right?
Sure.
It's Sogo that normally does. So stepping in either as a new player or a sub, we don't know. But either way, definitely showing up on the LAN stage.
And what we talked about a few rounds ago for Baker, they just are still 3 more Altorbs away from almost every single one of their ultimates. They're not going to have them here. Final round of this first half. Fisher College have 2 that they realistically should just be able to hit this site hard and fast once they find out the information. Cuz decides against it, though, without the information on the outside of that smoke.
And this is an interesting pivot this time around. It's a little bit earlier. It's without the Viper ping pong. And I'm curious if Baker Swarm are going to hold their own, or if the lack of information is going to cause the Sky, this Brim, to go exploring down a short. Dog doesn't spot anything close, doesn't spot anything stand, and they come away with that with still no answers. And therefore, Fisher College will have the element of surprise, the jump, ideally, on this exec, or this fake that I think Cuz is about to try selling.
The interesting thing is you have this Viper on the attacking side. They're not biting. Oh, Jeffy's just got the headshot. Seekers are active. They've still got 2 more ultimates. There's the orbital laser to rip things through. That'll force ladder moves forward. Demon finds at least a shot on the backside. Psych will die now. Pincer play could come through. Jeffy finding a double kill. Cuz just racking him up and knocking him down. Fisher College, supreme, up by 6 at half.
And Jeffy did not like us calling out that it's the other trio that's having a blast in the server. And yeah, I feel like these BX6 are just so well oiled. The execution between Long and Tuka perfectly timed, and they solidified it perfectly as well. The Seekers, the orbital strike, just to clear out that close space, so they could save the brunt of that utility for the chokes. And this does not look like a team that hasn't played Bind in at least a few weeks, to say the least, with how seamless it's being. The 9-3 curse sprung for our first map of Division 1 Nationals semifinals.
Spot in the championship on the line, of course, waiting for the winner of Northwood and UCSD. I always think USC, it always flips in my mind. Too many acronyms floating around the brain. Fisher, though, we'll see what their defense looks like. And realistically, if they win here this pistol round, it is pretty much all but doomed for Baker. They're going to try a heavy B-long hit. Jeffy going to be waiting with some animals on the other side. Jeffy just has the perfect flash, follows it up. Hijinks, though, has been a superstar, finds the double, and it's only the Waylay to try and defend this side. 1v3, Cuz survives. 10 HP up top is dead.
Again, it was the economic deficit, not individual performance, that made it difficult to find rounds in the first half. Here, Pistols, even Battlegrounds, Baker's Swarm start to pull ahead. Blast, though, is that 3K master, that solo player. Sentient Syndrome sets in. Let's see if they can clutch it up.
Does have the Bandit. So interesting here on site how they'll play it. Nami, full HP, swings it fast here. Everybody missing some shots, but Nami finds the 3K, cleans it up.
Yeah, Bandit, not a good close range weapon to say the least there for Blast. And the first prerequisite of a 9-3 curse has been fulfilled, winning the pistol follow-up. Now, you just gotta make sure you don't get ecoed on the second, which with this buy should be good. I don't know how I feel about the double outlaw. I kind of would have preferred like a Vandal Force or like multiple Bulldogs, just ensuring that they can then bonus subsequently in the follow-up.
It's like players calling for a tech pause here at the end of round 13. And interestingly enough for Fisher, a really good start, of course, on their offensive side. They don't get the start they want here on this defensive side. We talked about these two compositions. It feels like they're almost better on the sides they're on now.
Waylay and Raze... Phoenix. I don't know. I actually don't know. I feel like Baker's is definitely better on the attack. But I think for me, I'm going to say I think I like both actually comps for the attack more than anything. I know you mentioned Blast and the Viper, I think is better equipped than the composition that Baker is running, and that's where they might be. If we're comparing two and their defensive prowess, I would say Fisher's is better. But I think both of them are, with those double duelists, are very attack focused. Just because of the way how effectively it was used. I don't see it being used as you can't play reactive with it anymore on the defense like previously, which was the main feat of it being a defensive powerhouse.
I'd be interested to see, though, too, the Viper did give them a ton of value just by having the wall there, not even popping it half the rounds, right? They're just saying you probably have to commit 3 members to that site because we have a Viper wall there, because the idea of us attacking that site was there, and every time they went, it seemed like B-Hit was theirs because they knew how to execute on it. Now the question is, obviously, can they play that defense on the swap side? You have the Viper, you have some of these other tools, but there's also just so much utility coming from this Baker Swarm crew that if they use it correctly, they should be able to get these site executes.
Yeah, that's what I'm most, I think, excited for to see, because I do know that they can be a cohesive unit. I'm also hoping that ladder moves does heat up a little bit more on these other plays. Blast has been his match on the other side. That could be helpful. I think what I'm most concerned about is the fact that I think Fisher are going to be a lot more proactive than Baker was. Baker never had a shower fight, never had an ace scale down, right? Most they got was 2 sand swings like off the start of the half, and I think that scared them away that those failed from fighting out at any other point when they could have overwhelmed because Fisher was reclaiming that space super late. I feel like Fisher will be the team that will keep a deep deposit, will take that space, especially when they are up 9-3, and this round is the full example of that. Phoenix, the Brimstone fighting Shower side. We'll see how far they go off the Sky Flash.
Apparently one of the players and their Discord VC was moved to Brazil, so we'll see how that one goes. They're moved back to the United States and can actually talk to each other. Fisher College.
Global team.
Yeah, I mean, they're going back to their home region, right? So Baker Swarm with the economic advantage here to try and fight things through. The question becomes, without real information here, and especially with that perfect Viper wall that cuts straight through the teleporter, how do you try and go for this one? They're giving Fisher a lot of space.
Pop up, forehead spotted, and you're gone. Here's that util that can just kind of saw out the chokes, but the nade doesn't do much to deter it, and they think the stack is here now. They're going to leave it be.
Rotate over here, back to Fountain side. The question becomes for Baker, they've still got 2 players right outside of the market. Played themselves nicely into a good position with that Viper to cut down the backside. This could be really good, especially with the pincer coming straight through mid. Triple smoke coming through. Hijinks using everything on this bush right here. The Viper wall is there to try and shut him down. Demon finds only one. It's Fisher who is absolutely demolishing here with just that single sheriff. But that single sheriff is far from enough.
You mentioned the scare attack of Blast of that Viper of the snake bite wall combo. It gets completely overshadowed. That double duels dodge constantly up and over and get the entry. And that's interesting because it wasn't as like double fronted as some of the Fisher execs were onto the B site, but the way they exploded and spread out frag style definitely finds the same punch packed. 4 players about to walk away with their weapons, which we had 1 pistol in that arsenal for the second round buy-up, so it's pretty much going to be flawless coming into the next, and hopefully we'll get a rifle to round out that 5 weapons.
Unless the craziest thing happens, no, Nami's going to find the 3K there at the Outlaw, cleans things up, and Fisher's lead is chopped to 4.
All right, let's see what that buy looks like, and Demon. Oh, you can't afford a Vandal. Get some. Come on, ladder moves. Buy him the hero rifle. We need the Demon back in the server. He's having the quietest map he has had the entire tournament. And you don't want that for semifinals. Oh, going for the Sheriff. That's not going to help. Oh, wait. I was wondering why he was going to go light shield pistol. That was like screaming off, but not an attack off. We don't want that. So he does, oh, look at that. Revenge, being a gentleman, hands off the Bulldog, and we'll be going with the Sheriff. So this is better equipped for a dive style, especially when Nami is sorting the Outlaw. We're going to see Demon hopefully get activated here, and they've hit the weaker site, but they've yet to challenge Shower side. This is a reflood angle.
This is awesome here from Fisher, and if they can play it patient, and especially if they can find Blast in a good position to cut down from spawn or tower, all of a sudden it becomes really harder. They're going to play double upper side, and Nami's not going to connect, but Demon will. With the Brim dead, they know Demon can keep going. Finding the double. Fisher still with a lot of re-entrance utility with 2 flashes available on 2 different agents. The question becomes, can they defend the site and are they expecting rather this flank?
Ooh, I don't think so. Psych just trying to stay alive around the Radiant Bucks. Can get up to heal with the hot hands if it had gone through. And now, yeah, I think that flank gave up and went back. I think we're about to see a bonus converted for Baker Swarm.
Unless Jeffy does the funniest thing. Regen shield.
Save, right? You have to.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, it's a Vandal. Just play the spawn side. Hold. Flashed away from the bird. And Fisher College, their lead is starting to crumble even further. Baker Swarm, this is what we wanted to see. And you know, this was going to be the biggest test. When it came to their attacking side, could they play together? Could they play off their utility? And could they find those clutches that they need to from solo players? Jeffy finds a double kill, so losing some very important weapons.
It's okay, it's Old Orbs, you know, when it was a bonus through and through, so it'll be a full buy no matter what for Baker. But what interests me is, again, these execs are so different than what is expected of a clean bind game. Again, we mentioned that it was one avenue, B long. Here it was one avenue, A short. And I like how they address Shower's control. Instead of fighting directly into the stack, who they know had better weapons, they had this passive surprise angle waiting for the reclear Fisher, and they bit right into it. Now, you can't get away with it every time, so I'm going to see probably Fisher start exploiting that space, or that lack thereof, taken by Baker. But for here and now, yeah, money disrupted. With or without that hero rifle, the shotguns come out, and it is likely going to be momentum shifting in Baker's favor.
I think the one thing that could change it for Fisher is if Jeffy can access one of those ultimate orbs, get the Seekers online, and use that as an entry tool. If not, it feels like for Baker, they've got control of the economy. They've got control so far of how things are going momentum-wise. But Jeffy, there's the hero. That's the Seekers online. That's a possible walk forward. Cuz is going to try and go pick up that weapon, and he'll be allowed to. Finding some damage. Teleports back is the way that the problem is, if you go for this, you'll lose side control.
Yeah, again, we mentioned it's always 5 down long, no hookah being addressed, and that's just going to set up the reflow of the Toxic Scream. Blast is now here. They can reframe the site anchor, and this is dangerous.
Nami, long range here. The question is, with the showstopper, do they want to invest? There is a teleport play that they could just go back to A for free because the walls are starting to close in on them. I mean, look at where Phoenix is.
Yeah, they're about to be contained. The Sky is sand side as well. It feels like their hand is pressed, and there it is. The showstopper out as a result.
They're just going to push it, send it through tube. Nami will connect on the explosion. It's going to be 2-0. Baker Swarm back up in numbers.
Nothing like a showstopper to clear the room, but the air is not. To look heavy Phoenix in Hookah getting ready, just waiting for the smoke to fade and for the showstopper die out.
Cuz need to find more than that. The time was just off. Nami's found the extra. All down to one. Psych will try and do it from the Guardian, and this is just an angle to find some kills, and Demon won't allow that. The kill from the Jet puts Baker within 2.
Yeah, that one's difficult, right? You're in such a swing position as where the Phoenix was. With a broken buy, you can't fully capitalize off of it. So for me, number one, this timeout's great. It's well placed for Fisher College to make sure that they don't lose the lead they've worked so hard to establish. But secondary, you can now kind of break down, analyze the information that Psych got from getting that deep A space for free. Figure out how to develop it into a game plan, because like we mentioned, that was exactly what I was expecting to see, was Fisher taking that consistent space off this double duelist, off of this waylay, and instead they've been playing more like refloods from Hookah side, refloods from Shower side, and again, I think Fisher can be doing more to exploit the gaps in this attack for Baker.
I think, too, from Fisher, this is a large set of rounds that they lose in a row, so not surprised at the timeout. They should have money to buy as well, so not going into a pistol round or anything of the likes. For Baker, though, when we talk about a step back, single elimination here for the championship setup. One team will go on to the championship. One team will be eliminated from this best of 3. And we said, I think if Baker don't win this map, if they cannot finish this comeback, it's going to be tough.
Yep.
Ouch.
We're just looking behind us because we got ECAC on stage. Northwood, who will be playing later in their own semifinals, is up 10-2 versus Pace. So they don't look like they needed a warm-up map, to say the least, Llama. But back to our semifinals here over on the NECC stream. Baker Swarm versus Fisher College, 2 rounds separating. Big swing round. Again, it's that purgatory buy for Fisher College. Buy, save, yup, could break the spell, cuz novelty factor out. Run it back to complement, this scaling, the shower trap, and this looks like a nice setup, very well rounded this time from Fisher.
Well, the interesting thing, too, is you have a lot of speed here, and there's not a lot to cover this. So they push him out early with the shells. They get Demon inside. Nami finds the first blood, and all of a sudden, there just really is no answer. You've given up so much space. You've given up the plant chance, but it's actually a fake on the plant. They're not going to go for it. Pushed away. Nami's still in a great position to shut this down from back of sight. Sight gets one, doesn't find the second. Run it back is good, but it's a 3-for-3 trade that now sets up the operator. It's a spike pickup, and Hijinks is just deadly. 2-on-1.
And it's picture-perfect timing, the regroup here, but so is Psych ready to intercept.
Oh, can get up through the tube. Psych! Just one more, all that's necessary. Doesn't want to find the bad timing, though, in the outside rotate. Going elbow. There's the plant.
Ring around the rosy. Do you expect the elbow angle?
Yes, you do. Nami finds it. A bullet taken. A bullet given. It's got to be Psyche here on this setup. Oh, Nami's just playing with his food. Fisher College needs this round to get their economy rolling.
Psyche's just waiting.
Plays the off angle, and Nami is just going to find the headshot. Baker, it's another close one, but they have yet to lose around here on their attacking side.
Yeah, difficult 1v1. Psych reason the tendencies perfect there of Nami, and Nami still wins the head-to-head engagement. So great stabilization, right? Hijinks is the one that gifted them that round. Nami just signed his name on it and shipped it off to the party there with that final clutch moment. But for Fisher College, again, I don't know. I feel like the congregation there off the run back was really, really nice, but I need to see more for them on these chokes, right? We mentioned the oppressive utility on both sides. Again, Incendiary, Hot Hands, Hinder. Like, there is so much utility that this team should not be getting out Baker as easily as they are onto the sites.
And now, you look at a round for Fisher that could tie us up. It probably will with how their economy looks. 2 ultimates here from Baker. That last run it back from Fisher goes null. Nami missing a shot, and Cuz actually going to take him down with the Sheriff. Deep spawn angle.
All right, and that's what we wanted to see from Fisher. Didn't expect it on the eco. I want it to continue on the rifle rounds, but job's not done yet. But with that opener, you might contemplate investing that convergent paths after you get the top off the regard from the sky, hence the rotation to B. But that's the opportunity now for Baker to reclaim that space and take A instead.
Demon has a chance to shut it all down, but Psych has found the headshot. A massive turn back here as Demon dies. Hijinks gets the trade. And look at the space as well. The question is, do you know about this brim that is just trickling inside? Sure, it's going to be an ultimate coming down the other way. Orbital Laser will force the angle, but Laddermoose still trying to search for these players. It's a 4v3, and Baker Swarm is investing everything. Laddermoose finds the headshot.
They want this tie game. They know the convergent paths is all 9. This is them saying, don't invest it. You can't win this eco.
Double smokes, though, are so delaying. Cuz is going to find the headshot on Revenge. Everybody's full HP here from Fisher. Cuz is going. Nuclear. A 3K already. Ladder moves. A bullet will do it. Jeffy, good for it. Fisher denies the opening. The convergent path forced out, and Fisher's to double digits.
Wow, that is the round you look back and be like, dang, we shouldn't have lost that. That would have been us making that comeback. That would have been us on track to take our map pick. But now, Fisher College requiring Baker Swarm to answer back. That was our first round and a half, I will say, for Fisher College, which is crazy to look at. 5 in a row after the 5 in a row that Fisher found to close off their own attack half. Let's just say the attack momentum is strong. We were right that both comps were going to be good on the attack, but they were very different flavors, which is what's so funny. It's been very direct hit. You show, you end. For Baker versus it was perpetual fakes from Fisher College. And Fisher, again, Cuz struck gold. Early aggression, first blood, get out. That's what the Waylay's good at, and that's what they're setting up again with the double duel stay short.
Cuz this time, though, will not find as much space as they did last time. Revenge and Hijinks both able to get early kills here. And that'll once again force a backpedal. Fisher College trying to rip them back. Jeffy dies with knife in hand, tried to go for the dagger to the face and missed it. Hijinks will get the full heal. This retake is really tough, and it all situates kind of on what this Viper can do. Again, the wall gets no real value. You're down to minimal economy as well. This might just be a save call and send your one in sight for Blast to try and find some damage. There you go. Blast the swing away. Almost found it through the smoke. It seems more doable, but this just isn't it.
He's going for it, right? Viper's pit one off. You're going to take it into the next round with you either way, either outcome. And this is the delay utility that we know of. They're trying to make this hurt economically, and Blast is making a good go at it, but the tag team trade secures the round. And Quinn, 10 HP, wasn't even going for it. He doesn't need the ult right now. And that's, again, Baker Swarm. Another opportunity to tie us up.
I honestly think that's a little bit doable if both of them stay there, but again, when do you think your Viper, I guess, is going to get 2 kills in sight, be able to survive? Either way, it is Viper's Pit online for Fisher College. Their lead, though, has been decimated. Back to just that 1-round advantage.
I'm surprised that we haven't framed a defensive hold, the splintering of players around this Viper's Pit. Usually the site's going to be weak player count-wise if you have the Viper's Pit online over there. And looks like they're just going to invest it probably deep sand, keep a player long, and that should mean the Phoenix should be A. So heading there a little bit late. Ready to rotate on a dime. And again, Baker Swarm, they're keeping it very simplistic, but it's been working.
They're here to have fun, and clearly their fun strategies are working. Really a little bit of damage. That's a nice kill there on the backside. Pink shells, look. Fisher College down a ton of utility early.
Okay. Nami, showstopper one off, is why he's leading the charge, took the spear into U-Haul, but while they're sending these seeds of doubt, something else is sprouting. This flank play from Cuz should be perfect.
2 ultimates still available here, and it's going to be Cuz who finds it on the Bandit.
Is holding it.
Oh, the Bandit is enough. Even takes him down. Jeffy gets the extra. This push is crunched, and the Seekers are there to push him away. It will be a free site rotation the other way. We'll see what Cuz can get. And the question becomes, in a Fountainside rotation, you should be able to have this crunch. Do you expect one lurking in the teleport?
There's no way that the 2 rounds Fisher win this half are off of half-buy rounds, off of saves. And just like that, it seems like the Bandit is delivering, stealing away this round, possibly this map from Baker Swarm. It's all down to Revenge.
Has the flash, gets it out, doesn't even look down. Revenge still fights the 3K, but Jeffy has got the trade, got the 11. Fisher College on the cusp of a map 1 victory.
It is so impressive how Jeffy has been the stability element for Fisher College. Again, gets the information, sets up the duelists before they go for these deep engagements, and Dumbbell spending that second and final time out here for Baker Swarm, realizing that, again, we shouldn't be losing these rounds specifically. And again, the simplicity was going for getting the mental up, getting the momentum strong. But now that it's plateaued a little bit, you need to change up your gameplay. Go from winning plays to clean plays. There's a difference. And with that, I do think there are a few players to look at. Ladder moves being one of them. He was holding the flank with a full rifle up against Cuz, gets hit, executed by the Bandits. And again, we just hyped him up in the pre-show. This is the man graduating. This is the founder. Like, if he's not having a good game, you've got to get his mental up. Again, he's been celebrated for clutches, celebrate for side anchors. It's going to be important on a map like Breeze later on if we make it to that map 3 decider. And Again, I was excited for the Chamber, but it's not delivering right now. I would have preferred the Viper at this point.
And honestly, again, if those aren't scoring, it's when I think your Sky and your Chamber for Baker are not doing good. That is when you struggle. And you look at, I know that you can take a little information from the kill leaderboard and who's doing well, who's not, especially from a Chamber and a Sky perspective. But when those are the two that are at the bottom of the leaderboard, especially with ladder moves only on 6 kills throughout this entire match, it is tough.
Yeah, you're going to feel the pressure, the blame even. So cannot let that this kind of take over right now. It is close still. 9, 11, and an opener finally gets shut down, finally gets refragged, and all the ults are out at the same time, Llama!
Oh, we'll see if the showstopper actually finds anything. It was very early that they popped it. Ladder moves. We'll get the extra from the tour de force.
Oh, they didn't send it in a backside in time. Quinn was in position to succumb to it. Now he has a timing, a wraparound raid, and it pops!
Oh, man, Hijinks able to get the shutdown, but it's far too late. 2v3 with a Viper Spit and a flank from Jeffy.
Head on a swivel, though. That trademark was broken. They aware it's possible, but the shower side pivots will keep him alive, allow the regroup alongside Blast, if Blast doesn't fall.
They do have that tour de force for those extra long angles. Hijinks has already found a very important kill in this round, and Fisher already winning from how many ultimates that Baker spent. It's a little bit slow here on the look. Ladder move should just hit it, but no! Blast has got the headshot. Blast on the defense, gets it up to half. They'll be mullied away. Need to get back on it. Jeffy finds the kill. Back forward from Hijinks. The shutdown! 3K! Clutch!
Hijinks has been that it factor this map for Baker Swarm. And I saw those few series in Baker's recent matches that he was top bracket. I'm like, we haven't seen that at NECC in the groups, in the playoffs so far. But it is what is keeping this team afloat right now on their map pick in the semifinals. 18 and 14, 10 assists, that clutch, perfectly executed and timed around the incendiary. And that's why those forces were ahead of him, protecting him. Knew it was the win condition, and it will continue to be. I liked the timeout for Baker. It solidified those small mistakes, didn't allow them to flank. It just composed the post plant because the early execs are working well.
I don't know if what they said in the timeout was just, okay, use all of our ultimates. That's the strategy. But for Fisher, they've got some ultimates, but they don't have the economy to back it up here. So it's important what they do, especially with Blast, who has the snake bite, but only 60 HP. And it's going to be the Boombot that just barely dodges away and now can retake this position with the smoke. There's 4 players here.
Talked about it, very, very pacey from Baker Swarm in these early rounds. And now the difference as well is slowing it down, cutting noise. We saw it on A once, that's when Cuz got the flank. We're seeing it here again, but no practice space taken this time by Fisher. It's retake off of the run it back, ideally, that they're going for if they get an opener, because like you mentioned, Eco's a little scrambly.
You also have to play off the timing of the Toxin, because when you have your Viper and have that Tox screen available, that is what can change around for Nami and Cruz. Still smoked out here at 30. I think that 40 seconds left to go. Demon, he wants to give him a kiss. Smooch, there's the flash. Demon gets the headshot. Nice acceleration here from Baker, but Jeffy might just be the hero. It's a 2 for 2 on the initial trade, and it's going to be back to the Brim, who finds another 3v2. Spike is in no man's land at this point. Nami trying to follow it up. The damage is there. Ladder moves. Has to be it. And Jeffy's got the 3K.
Can you get to the site on time? You don't have satchels. You have nothing to close this distance. It's going to be...
it's enough.
To finish, on the corner of the site. We'll get a chance at least to navigate this 1v2 with 17 HP.
Cuz just needs a single shot. Bang!
Headshot. Map point delivered for Fisher College. Baker Swarm. That is the first time we've seen an exec fall flat. Jeffy, again, at the core of it. The crux of it for Fisher College. And again, there's some disharmony. There's some miscommunication there, right? You see Nami, you see ladder moves. Falling back out into the smoke to reload. And then ladder moves swinging out solo. Does get his at a minimum. But again, it could have been both surviving, getting the site. And now that was also a thrifty. So it's like the 3 big rounds, the 3 rounds won by Fisher have been Ecos. I know.
It just feels like things going aside for Baker Swarm and a must-win map right here. This is the question now. 1 ultimate from Hijinks. You have this orbital laser that can try and disrupt the site, but Fisher's got 3, and realistically with that Viper's Pit, they have enough to hold. They've got the economy, and I don't know what the heck the economy buy is from Baker Swarm. It's whatever they can find.
everything but the kitchen sink. But Fisher College look like they're almost done with the dishes, so gotta put them away. And this is a new look from Baker Swarm. Fast through hookah.
Nice move. Fast hit, Cuz, Blast, both finding kills. It's a nice snake bite. Psych's already going to use the ultimate here. It is them ripping through every single member. Nami trying to hold the line with just an SMG. It is Nami versus the world. They've got the healing, but it doesn't feel like the timing is on their side. Fake the ultimate orb. Fisher's got 3 members alive. Sure, you've got the blast back, but you left the spike on the other side.
All right, some orb farming. See if you can, in fact, get a kill, get a refrag, get up to that to be the show-stopping closeout to this 1v3. The GGs, though, already littering the chats, and Cuz will prove that correct.
Nice little flick through the wall. It is over. Fisher College take away Baker's map number 1 selection. And that is a huge one, because we talk about those 3 rounds that they won. They should not have won. They were winning rounds they shouldn't have won. They were losing rounds they should have won. But at the end of the day, that's a massive map victory.
And that's where the gold lies under the stone, is that when it's those eager rounds, you take risks you normally wouldn't. And when you take those sort of risks on buy rounds, you find rewards. And to me, they're not risky with the composition that was being run by Fisher. If you use a run it back, if you use that dismiss, that's how you can get in, get that info, that impact, and get out unscathed that you should have been doing consistently across the defense, and we only saw on those ecos. We'll see if it crops back in the rest of this map pool or not, but even that last round, Blast finally delivered that sight anchor we're looking for, the pivot out the pit that you set up. It was literally a well-rounded team effort on the Fisher side, and so well, you would not have guessed that they've not been practicing by.
I mean, and Blast, you mentioned their name, was phenomenal from start to finish in that entirety of the map, and set up on the Viper, one of the hardest agents to be able to find consistent kills on. It's going to be a question of whether or not Baker Swarm can take Fracture, or whether or not Fisher is going out of the championship. Before we go on to that map number 2, though, we're going to hit ourselves a short break, so don't go too far. Welcome back, everybody. Still here at the Forge Trials, presented by the Army National Guard. We're in a heated Valorant series, and although Valorant map number 1 went the distance, Fisher was able to take Baker's map pick.
13-10, and again, they tried to hit where it hurt, bind a map, leaving the rotation pool, and it did not work out. Bringing out an old style comp, mixed with the comfort picks of the Phoenix, it looked seamless. Again, we had that idea of, is it going to be stronger on the attack or the defense? We saw both teams have really strong attacks, and with that aggressive tendencies, we've been talking about how that might translate into Fracture.
Yeah. Well, it'd be interesting to see, especially for Fisher. They're a very good team on the aggression. They're very thorough, as we mentioned, in their sort of rotations. But for Baker, this will be a real test on what they want to do, how well I think they've actually planned for this map. I mean, you had to assume, because it feels like Fisher is so good, this always finds a way to slip into their series. And, you know, with taking that Pearl off the board, which is what Baker really wanted to go to, this is kind of what you were knowing you were probably going to play early in the series.
Yeah, and it's difficult because we heard it from down below. They really needed to ban Haven out. They know it's a really strong map for Fisher. That left Fracture a rematch match open, right? They played it in the group stage versus Fisher, and it was unfortunately a pretty one-sided loss, 5-13. When we talked about this, they were running a very off-role composition. Nami, who's played duelist to every other map, every other time, was on Tejo, right? You had ladder moves on Breach. You had Revenge, your stand initiator on Cypher. And I do think that they refined that, came back stronger in that UNCW single elimination quarterfinals, and won that pretty one-sidedly, 13-7, with a revised version, right? Getting Nami back on the duelist, still working with, I think, the Breach and the Cypher in some degree, and just getting them on a happy medium that they obviously put a better results behind.
And everybody feels like they're running Cypher on this one. It almost feels like the most important agent for how you're not only solo locking down those sites, but also the information game, I feel like, is a big one on Fracture, especially on how you communicate to your team, where players are going, where they're hitting, because it's a map where you can very easily get overrun on that defensive side if you don't have the correct members on the correct sides.
You just have 3 different pivot points between the cam and the 2 spy tripwires, right? And for me, again, it's better on the attack for that, managing both dish and that drop side. So I think that's where the Cypher is so meta right now over a Chamber or a Killjoy. But again, that's why we're expecting to see it.
And I think it's going to be how those perform again. When you talk about the duelists are still going to find their duels, the duelists are still going to find their angles, and that speed will be a question. But I think when you look down to the bottom part of the leaderboard, again, from ladder moves, it's someone I'm expecting a little bit more from here in this map number 2.
And I will say the pace change of switching then from the chamber, from the classic Senti to either this breach or fade that we're expecting, likely fade, can do that, right? Then you're going to be a little bit more in the system, right, than off on your lonesome, trying to be that difference maker. And I think that kind of stability, that kind of support, and giving other people a chance to shine will get that confidence back up, right? It's like I can have impact in the server that isn't just via a big sniper rifle, isn't via that Hunter Sheriff, right? You have more important utility to add to the info gathering, to the planning, to the execution.
Well, Baker needs a win here on map number 2. We are going over to Fracture, as we talked about it. Similar compositions on either side. It looks like almost exactly even, other than the Jet is going to be the one change. So the fade is going to be important, I think, for these two, especially with the Cypher and how they combine. But this is it. Single elimination. Baker must win this map number 2 if they want to stay alive. Of course, we've got a whole schedule here today, not only Valorant. I know we've got Apex Legends here to follow up here on our NECC stream. We've got matches going on in our 5v5 and main stage as well.
That's where Grand Finals will be later today on that Rally Cry 2, so make sure to check it out. But all in all, here we go. Round 1. Reminder, Fisher won that initial pistol in a very explosive style clutch. We'll see if they can do it again.
Excited to see what Fisher's offense looks like, because I feel like when they were playing on the offensive side, obviously very dominant back in that map number 1, but this is something where they could realistically put up a 9-3, a 10-2 half if they're working well.
Yeah, I have to look back at the 13-5 to see if it was one-sided or not. But again, history favors them, and that momentum does too, cuz unimpeded on the entry, full sights on main. They know this is deserted, so that's where they have to be. And somehow you still got caught off by that fact.
I mean, Demon's been incredible on the Sheriffs, and it's Blast and Onion who find the kills back. It is 2 for 2. The health bars are just decimated on every side. They're just going to rotate through spawn and take B.
I think you expect the Cypher arcade, though. Eye is now drawn to this Cypher player, Phoenix Psych, tracking him down underpass.
It's Jeffy who's going to get the plant ladder boost covers. And Fisher, once again, a clutch scenario for them. The delayed Phoenix rotate may cause some problems, especially with Jeffy finding that kill. Sending out, looking for the Prowler. It's Fade versus Fade, Fade on Fade violence here. And Fisher just has the better health bars, the better number of players. There's no utility left for ladder moves, and it's Psych who will clean it up.
For such decisive, well-informed rotations, slow pacing, on bind, on that attack, this was so out of left field, chaotic, and it still works. And we're like, why is Cuz not fighting main? It's because they were fighting into spawn. And I don't know if he got with the program fast enough, but again, it's this heroics. And also, I mean, it's that splintering, but trusting in the ability to win these 1v1s, right? If Revenge wins up against Psych, completely different round. You don't have that extra ping pong, that extra support. And again, I think they might not have even got the spike down. So again, they'll get lost in the sauce, but right now they are cooking up a little Ragu masterpiece with that pistol. We'll see if they can continue it. Weapons in hand, a big fight B main. Oh
man, the health bars from Baker just deleted from the paint shells. Jeffy's found the double off the spray of the SMG, and it is quickly turned ugly here. Baker, it has to be something here, and it looks like Nami will survive somehow, escaping through the outside corridor, but Jeffy's going to hunt him down. Plant has already started up. Baker, they're just going to lose their 2 other players. It's a full house there.
And again, it was that seize alongside the nade that made it all the worthwhile. So again, Jeffy at the core of a lot of these success moments for Fisher College, and that's not what you want to see. A 3rd round run it back. We're going to see a Phoenix nerf next, right? It's like just like shift from the next duel. Igwele to yours, back to Neon, now to the Phoenix, and again with that extra inclusion of these rifles that they're passing to Psych, you know they're getting ready to use the run it back, and it's in a very direct arcade side exec. It's nice that they're simplifying the attack.
I mean, credit to Psych 2, 4-0-4, involved on 8 of the 10 kills so far. It's going to be involvement here, especially with that run it back going fast inside here. They will find Hijinks, and it's Revenge who will only get 1 before they drop their rifle into the pockets of Fisher. Plant is down.
Ooh, now you can play the close angles, play the gun upgrades as well. Don't give these fights earlier than you have to Baker Swarm.
Psych somehow just able to hold down on the backside, takes down Nami. This round is
They're
done.
saving.
Baker gives up. Lost the early HP on the engagement. Don't want to overcommit. Demon and Fisher is going to go up 3 straight.
Now, this wasn't a third round save from Baker over on Vine, but it reminds me of that 2v4
Yeah.
that they could have played out, but instead went to save. This is different because obviously the Jet is super low HP. That was going to be the tip of the spear that's now Dole trying to puncture its way back in the site versus the full shield that they were going to save over on Vine. But to me, it has that same level of impact, right? Snowballing early for Fisher College, probably an early timeout from Baker Swarm as well, and 0-3, not what you want to see on a map 2 where you're down in the series.
The Falcons have had their way with this map so far. And when you talk about momentum, it feels like they have got all of it. Now, interestingly enough, with the money situation that Baker have, this is actually a pretty interesting buy. Do you force up here and leave yourself with 100, 1,000 credits on a few and maybe not have enough to full buy in that next round? Or you just try and go with these 2 hero rifles?
Gotta go with the hero rifles only, and that's exactly what they're kind of buying enough for next, right? Other than Demon, who has hopefully will get enough kills with this to get the blades in the next with how many orbs there are on Fracture, but again, they're trying to help Revenge because Revenge doesn't typically play Senti, and that's the difficulty here is you should have numbers away from the Cypher. You need that super stable state anchor, and that's, to me, not what I've seen from Revenge.
Fisher also, some really good smokes are going to dice up the specific site. And the question is, with the delayed reinforcements, it's an actual smoke from Baker that slows them down, redeciding on where they want to go. Feels like they want to invest this, especially with that Blaze Wall activated. It is slowed down on either side, but if they try and flex towards A, I mean, what is going on with the rotations in sight, though?
This is the Fisher College of old from Vine, but I like that Baker Swarm have stayed.
Oh, Demon finds a kill there. Is it more? Yes, sir. It's a double kill. Blast is able to find one back. The dash, the Prowler denial. Jeffy gets the cut down. And Fisher College, it's the wraparound play. They're going straight back to B because they know it's clear.
Yeah, the Cypher was arcade side, found that opener that you mentioned, and just like that, they should get a deserted space. That's difficult. I was about to hype up that duo, Ladder Moves, Demon, who normally perform independently and successfully. They set each other up. They got the openers, they got the multi, and now you're playing a disadvantaged retake 2v3 that's been solidified even more so by the Nightfall has set up now even the underpass play to counter this flank. It feels done and dusted.
Baker, can they do the impossible? Oh, Jeffy says no. It's a triple kill from Jeffy. Blast finds a double kill on the backside. Full house. Fisher, 4 straight rounds.
Cool. And again, it's this mix, this hodgepodge for Fisher College of very meta-style picks combined with the comfortability of Psych on this 5-0. Psych's like, I've been playing Phoenix this whole time. Put me in, coach. And that's exactly what has happened here at NECC Division 1 Nationals. And here we go. 0-4, no timeout taken just yet by Dumbbell. Coming into the bye, coming into the op round, so probably like what he was hearing in terms of the adjustments, in terms of the identification of what's going wrong. Let's see if this A main fight goes right.
Fisher College, so far undefeated here on this map. And a map where they could close out the series. Blast with the opener. Shutting down Hijinks, getting the cage. Cuz is winning on the other side. Everything's falling apart. Demon does get a nice kill, but this is heavy-handed sight coming through. Demon will have to do it all, even though it's an even count.
Yeah, it's a Jet. You can't hold this site. You can't hold this space except for the spray down through the smoke attempted. They're going to know it's a plant. They're going to navigate the 3v3, and the information is going to come from this neural theft onto Blast as well.
I mean, it's going to make the Cypher rotation delayed here, though, to group up in the spawn side look. Fisher College giving away on their 3 locations. Paint shells down low will push out Jeffy. Jeffy's still in a great spot to hold them off, though. Decay will catch Demon. Shield will come back online here. Still a 3v3. Demon finds their second. How much more? Dashes in. Close range rifle. Demon, true to the namesake. Nami finds the kill, and it's the first for Baker.
It's bloody, it's battle, but it gets the job done. Baker Swarm will be on the board. And it's off of heroics from Demon more than anything. The opener, right? After Blast on a great aggressive lurk kill, B main. It's off of the C's that set him up as well. And Fisher College, even playing around the neural theft was intelligent. Blaze Wall, question marks, where they reposition, but just dashing in fearlessly. Even unsupported, it felt like by utility at times, still finding those transfers, dislodging those post-plant players. But all in all, one among many that they need to bring us to Breeze. And again, with them losing so many weapons, you hand off the rifle, you pull out the blades, and hopefully keep farming.
I will say, Fisher is very rich from winning 4 rounds in a row, so their economy not super worried. Nami will take it off a blast here and watch over for the second. Nami lighting him up here with the operator. Is it enough for even more? Has the paint shells in the back pocket to push him away. You'd assume Fisher want to outbound rotate. Instead, they want to force it.
And this is where we're starting to see Baker Swarm develop into that typical Fracture defense. Cypher alone, the stack rotates off contact, and it's a nice balance between your Senti and your operator purchase. Nami, Fisher College, this is going to be their learning curve. Their challenge to solve is how to get around the operator, how to not have Blast be first blooded on these lurk engagements, and they can't figure it out quick. We might have a game on our hands.
Oh, Laddermoose needs to win that. Demon has the daggers, but it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade.
Way.
Fisher have shut everything down that they've wanted to invest in. Oh, Showstopper is there. Jeffy tries to go for it. I mean, Psych, are you kidding me? Nice kill. Drop down. Jeffy through the box. No! Nami finds a 3K with the operator on a close-range boomstick.
I love that bait. It's like he's expecting him to come out like full swinging with the Showstopper, so he's pre-firing the angle at least to finish the job, but the op is there and still hard alliance. So that is a second round one for Baker Swarm. We've given them the problem to kickstart the solution cycle. Let's see if they can come up with a fix. And it seems like it's going to be op versus op violence that will hopefully be the it factor. And coupled with the ultimates, I do feel like Fisher College, this is their opportunity. That money you mentioned, hence getting depleted, need to revitalize this dominance.
Yeah, this is the hinging round, and oh, Nami loses the 1v1. Wild West duel goes to Cuz.
They know they can out-aim them. They've used that, and just like that, they are going to scale. Spike comes back after faking the 8 pressure, and this is where they're going to try and end.
Cuz still has the Showstopper. Where do you want to push it, though? Rocket Fuse down to half. Hijinks gets a double dribble. Hijinks ruins the round. Fisher College is only down to 1, and they sure have the neural theft, but oh, Blast gets a freebie. There it goes. There's the hat. He's bald.
Oh, they have sightline on Spike.
Ladder moves, looking, giving away. Now the 2 pings here of where those 2 players are. They're just going to stack together. Can be good, can be dangerous. Playing off of each other. The question is, how does Blast get back to the Spike?
So smart. Go underpass. You have so much time. 45 seconds still, and their eyes are both trained on main.
Oh, Blast is going to ruin them here. Larry lines them up. Blast gets 1. No! Ladder moves! Shakes the finger, wanks it in the face, and Baker go 3 straight.
I was so nervous. Ladder moves was already low in that engagement. That's why they were playing that high-low there up in B main with eyes trained on the Spike. It was a great idea, a great execution, but it falls short. So Fisher College this time, before having the lead swept out from under them, are the first to take that timeout, give Dumble a chance to talk with Baker Storm as well. And I don't know, that round is difficult to witness, right? It hijinks, right? That kind of gifts it. Ladder moves, caps it off. And it's, I think because they overfixated on the Cypher, I still, did Hijinks swing out of Canteen? I kind of saw the ping. Okay, yeah, so perfectly timed. Maybe a missed smoke timing then as well from Fisher, which could lend to this timeout. Again, making sure all those cogs are synchronized perfectly in the system for maximum efficiency. But again, they don't want to burn ults without conversion. They have 2 big ults as well. They can come up with a cohesive plan on to right the ship. If this is an eco, I think I saw 2 players on like 11, 1200, so it could be a half-buy situation. What do you do with both the Orbital Strike and the run it back? Not just one.
Yeah, and the question of those timings is how much do you want to invest, right? Do you want to invest both of those, try and secure a round, and then all of a sudden they have 2 ultimates on the other side that they might just be able to slam your economy again? A lot of questions are there for Fisher College, and you know they started this map off good. How many do you think they'd be happy with here at halftime for the scoreline? Yeah, Fisher.
Well, they 13-5 last time, so they probably want a 9-3. Rest of the rounds this half.
It's definitely doable. They've got the ultimates to do it. It is just going to be enough for almost a full buy. Just 1 light shield, 1 regent shield, and a bulldog is the only thing that doesn't hit the market.
Last time they run it back, this is exactly what they went with. Arcade, take it, set it up, Psych safely from off site, can scale in, clear out heaven, clear out front site.
The problem is going to be Nami. How do you deal with this operator?
How did it get here? Where is the Cypher?
Revenge is playing box side. Nami wants to go under.
If they ult the Phoenix ult here, it's going to get killed on the regeneration at this point.
They'll have the backside, and Psych doesn't even need the ultimate to go. They had the Nightfall to push through spawn, so that ultimate will delay the oncoming hit from Baker's retake.
Don't tell me Blast still gets this kill on to the Raze. Oh, they're clearing out main. They realize it's a gap? No, they're just saying close.
Nami getting the trade away of Razes here, puts it back to a 4v4.
They're just going to wait for Blast to handle it.
Run it back is there. Blast gets the kill. Nice crunch coming through. It's the first life of Psych traded away for Demon. And Fisher College just has the numbers game. It doesn't matter. Double ultimate on the side from Baker. They invest everything in this round. The Nightfall and Orbital Strike. They still have to battle into Fisher College's Delayal. And it's just going to be a back off with that Orbital Strike available.
The battle ends with a sturdy retreat from Baker Swarm. I mean, the position taken by Nami was great. That's what we wanted to see, that difference factor from how they played their defense over on Bind. But it's just the slow approach and that surprise element, right? They were expecting it to be flashy. They were expecting to run it back super early like the last time they went B. But that solid scaling into the site was so effective.
Yeah.
I wish you had stayed underpass, Loki.
Honestly. And they're going to call another timeout here back to back.
One of these.
Baker wants to talk some things over, and honestly, I think they need to talk things over just because of their current ultimate economy scenario. That round they used 2 ultimates, they pushed them off a site, but it doesn't actually get them any value at all. So now they have to talk about how they finish out this half.
Yeah, I don't know. Was awkward investments. Again, there was no follow-up ability behind them, and I think that's where you need to have a more cohesive plan before investing in them. And I'm usually all for not saving your ultimates too long, trying to lean into that instinct you're feeling. But again, then you have to be the one to make a play off of it, and that no one was able to. So, again, I think that's where we've done Dumbbells getting in, remind them like, hey guys, plan it, then execute it. Don't just do it on a whim. That's not how you beat a squad like Fisher.
Also important to note again, Fisher still up 1-0 in map count. They win either of these final 2 maps and they will be victors of the series. Of course, we're waiting for the other championship matchup, UCSD versus Northwood, which will happen a little bit later. Northwood still playing on stage in their ECAC matchup.
Map 3 after dominant 10-2 in the first map that went probably Northwood's way. This is crazy. But again, it's crazy that we keep doing checks during timeouts, but 5-3 here for Fisher College. Eco round for Baker Swarm. That also could have been Dumbo's hoping, right? It's close enough and strong enough that even another round or 2 can make that difference. And Eco, cleverly planned and executed, would be enough to tip the scales. But Fisher College, they like how there's no resistance arcade side. They know that Baker Swarm don't go for aggro trap plays. This is the most aggressive they've gotten, trying to crunch on the dish, but it's missed time. There's no distraction factor on the B site.
They just walk at him. I mean, Cuz is too good to let that slide for free. A double kill earned. Cuz will find 3. This round is already over. But for Baker, they want the ace. They want all 5.
Oh, he's doing his job first. Clearing at the side, breaking the Cypher trips, make sure the spike goes down, and getting ideally the showstopper online because of that multi-kill.
Boring.
Alright, now go push spawn. Go. Go. Cuz is like, no. No. Alright, come on. There he goes. They know they're saving now. Knows that the round is secured likely since there's been no telltale signs of life. And look, they're probably going to be the ones to go first, set him up. Ideally, fingers crossed. Come on.
Oh, not much time left to go on, and Fisher College is going to move to 6 here. We'll see if they can find all 5. Here comes the speed, actually, so maybe we'll look for it. Boombot will clear down low.
Spycam didn't see anything spawn side. That trip never was deserved. They know they're in a main.
Oh, Cuz dies. So no ace will be there. We'll see if they can rip out some weapons. No, ladder move actually finds yet another kill. So Fisher College tilting on the edge of that economy there. They will find their 6th, and for revenge, it's close to that neural theft.
Yeah, you wish he was the one to front those kills versus the Nightfall that was just expended. Probably won't see that come to fruition in this half, but Fisher College, I mean, these ult orb forming, these openers are going the right way to the right players, right? They haven't needed the orbital strike in the post plant. It got them a site previously. Another showstopper online. Like, the cycling here has been so strong amidst this double duelist setup that also has allowed them to maintain that consistency factor that kicked off this half and is now trying to finish it.
2 ultimates available for Fisher College. The look is to B, and it's going to be a split hit here once again. Their Cypher thinking about that up top look, and I mean, don't get me wrong, Blaze has been insane here. See what Nami wants to do. It's a high ground play that earns him a headshot onto Jeffy. Taking out the fade is actually pretty high value. Here come the reinforcements. Do they expect the underground? It's going to be that orbital strike. Demon will die to it. And all of a sudden, Fisher College turns this round on its head.
Look at this, Raze versus Raze. Jenny's side, Nami. Perfect reactivity.
3v3. Revenge making it back to their favor. I like this re-engage from Baker, but they still have to find the timing. Neural theft to gather some intel. Fisher College just gonna play it slow, and there goes Revenge. No more both, man. Loses that, loses head. Baker Swarm try not to lose the round. Nami very far forward, does to Blast. Ladder moves, gets the kill, but the Flames delaying the plant. Blast is just gonna get the swing out. Pros don't fake, sitting on it, get it up to half, through the box! Blast gets the 3K, keeps on winning for the Falcons.
And Blast has been so dynamic. Again, it shifted the way he's finding impact from the openers, right? With the ops that were on in the early half, now that those gone, dispelled, is that late round closer. So intuitive movement around that neural theft as well. Down the rope, up the rope. They didn't expect that consistent pressure factor. So all in all, I agree. It was great scaling back into the site from Baker Swarm, but it's those final moments that you have to cap off. And speaking of capping off, Fisher College guaranteed a lead. We'll be looking for another 9-3 here. If we somehow guessed they were going to win the rest of the rounds flawlessly after that timeout, I will be in awe.
Something like a crystal ball hidden under the desk. Fisher College down to just one ultimate though for them, and Hijinks finds a sheriff kill on Cuz to start this one out. That's not bad with the crunching position they have in Arcade and the showstopper available from Jeffy. Here we go. Kablam, kaboom. Fisher College lose 2. I don't know that you can go and pick up these rifles. If you try to, you're just going to get killed. Jeffy finds the extra on top. Fisher doing a good job to hold on to this position, and Blast will find another from the crunching side.
Oh, I love the showstopper investment on the after you found the opener. The re-swings there are what I don't like. They already know you're there. You've lost the surprise factor. You need to reframe the fight in some way if you want to double down. They don't do that. They face the repercussions, and now no round one and a rat brewing to finish off the last.
That is a tough position to be in. And Jeffy finds you through the smoke, off a headshot for their 3rd kill of the round. We said it, when we look at this kill leaderboard, who is going to be the difference makers? It's the Fade, it's the Cypher. Can you get them online? Jeffy and Blast have been insane this series.
Absolutely, they have. I mean, 12-4. 11-5. We went from saying Jeffy was that supportive 3rd on bind to being the star player here. Again, the C's nays, Cuz may be quiet, but again, is having that impact. Nonetheless, Operator, the defense, last round, finds the opener.
It's a nice first kill, but it's the question of how you follow it up. Well, you followed up with 2 kills. Woo! Nami, good for 1 as well. Fisher College is down to just a clutch scenario now. If it were anybody else, I'd say not possible, but it is Blast.
And the first player out to bat, Hijinks is low, but that was a perfect pace change Baker needed, let's be honest, right? They switched the Cypher setup and the stack, and it pays off perfectly. The conditioning converts, and they might avoid another 9-3 half.
We'll see what they have to say about it. For Blast, just the 2 cages to work off of.
All right, what's the trash talk in chat? Let us see it. Come on. I'm waiting for it. Amen. It's his own team spoiling. Or wait, setting him up. They said amen. So yeah, saving on the last round of the half. Totally.
Little mental game here. Give him a chance. Blast has to win against Nami to start. Spike in hand. There you go. Blast gets the first. There's a headshot. Still has the HP to get it done. Demon does have this operator. And with so much just information gathering tools left to go, Blast finds the double. 1 more to go here from Demon to take down the operator and to flood into sight. The timing shouldn't be there.
Let's stop
9 bullets. Just wait. Demon will hold the timing here. Blast will go for the swing with 10 seconds to go, and Demon will end it. It is Baker Swarm who find their 4th at the end of the half.
And I mean, all things considered, when it was such an explosive start for Fisher College, again, 4-0, and you can even argue then, what was it, 8-3? Like, I do think in 8-4, we kind of mentioned this when the first time out was called by Dumbbell, that another round or two would have been enough. We already mentioned it. Both of these teams were so attack-sided over on Bind, and I think that is going to translate here. But I will say, for Fisher College, they, to me, are that aggressive team that is going to take fights to Baker Swarm in mains a lot more than Baker Swarm did on their own defense, and they have to be ready for it. And again, A main's where they're going to go. They're probably immediately going to flank and try and find the Cypher and be there to retake this arcade push.
I also think the one difference in this composition is the Phoenix and the Jet. And I think when you're on the defensive side with this Phoenix, you have a lot more just random flash plays that you can go for and catch them off guard.
Agree, 100%. It's really good for the retakes as well, which we're probably going to have to see this round. They abandon the flank efforts, instead going to go the safe route through spawn and just hope that Blast can find a few from heaven.
Well, send him as fast as possible. Blast will get nothing. Demon, second kill of the round. Plant is down for the spike. Fisher will try and go for this retake. 3 different angles, 3 different looks.
Okay. Very divide and conquer-esque mentality. I think they have to wait really for Sight to get arcade to really let these other two go.
Feels like that's the starter position. Hijinks is low here, so if they lose that upper duel, something that could allow Hijinks to get some good positioning, but the time is already starting falling down. It's Nami who finds another kill here in this round to start things off with a pistol. Demon from above. This just might be flawless, and it is. It's revenge on the double kill, and Baker, low health bars doesn't matter. They find the pistol.
This is exactly what happened over on Bind as well to kickstart that 9-3 comeback. The pistol, the follow-up, and I think even the bonus, if I'm not mistaken, because it was those, 3 frantic ecos that Fisher was able to find. So curious if history is going to be repeating itself here. Once again, it's that similar buy. I feel like more dominant, not the double sniper rifle over on Bind that we saw, but the idea is there. Revenge. If they win dominantly, we'll upgrade this probably to a Vandal or Phantom.
Jeffy, though, before, we've seen them clutch up on, not mediocre, but semi-decent weaponry.
Oh, Marshall at the last second for Fisher College, while the gamble stack is scaling into arcade. Ships in the night. I'm wondering what happens when they make contact on the Cypher onto Revenge. What does Baker Swarm do in response?
It's a lot of speed. A lot of speed to get them onto B, but there is a lot of players here. So for Fisher, they're going to immediately get positioning up towards this tower side. Ladder move shuts it down with the SMG. Spectre good for 1, Spectre good for 2. Ladder moves stepping up when necessary. That Bandit is still causing them problems, and it's a Jeffy kill that brings it to a 2v2. That Nami quickly snaps in half.
I was a little nervous that they weren't being proactive enough to address that start control Fisher College had over arcade, and I think it was warranted, only walking away with 2 players in that situation, thanks to the 2 pieces from ladder moves and Nami. So again, it could have been cleaner if they maybe took the fight to them instead of letting them fight back into them, but spike, plant, round secured, and it's the least you can ask for. And you are still going to get the Vandal upgrade from Revenge as well, so not as strong as the bonus could have been, but let's see if it gets the job done.
Building towards those ultimates are going to be important as well. When you talk about, again, the main difference, you do have the daggers, and that is something that can help out your economy when you're struggling on this attacking side. For Fisher, their lead is reduced to 2. As a reminder, Breeze is our map number 3 if necessary. If Fisher can't find a way to win this one. Nami, nice little jump up to the high ground tier. On the backside of Demon, actually, they have good space, but it's an outbound rotation from Fisher that's too late.
A war from 2 fronts will be the retake game here for Fisher College. Off the run it back as well. They can be tucked away and accompany the Rays on the re-entry.
Set of play. Because leading behind the team, it's actually Blast who finds 1, 2! Everybody dies to the Cypher spray. Curveball's good. Entrance is better. They're already on the defuse, and just hold it. Just hold it.
He's going to dissipate. He runs out of time. The Phoenix is back. The space never relinquished, and only a Bucky in hand. That's hard for Hijinks to refight into. The bonus gets to 9. Fisher College will get up to 9, and you saw the gears turning for Baker Swarm. They expected a semblance of the run-it-back retake, but they thought it was going to come through traditional spawn, again, Jenny's side. That's why that duo started fighting out through arcade in that halving, and that's where you need, I think, Revenge to not be playing as close to the team in those moments, even if it's a bonus, and to get those answers early. I
think that's also to note for Baker, just because you get onto site, doesn't mean you're going to win the round, and Fisher's retakes have been, over the day, pretty good, even when they were back on defense in the first half, or in that first map, rather, excuse me. They did use their only ultimate, so now the question is, can they win the neutral game? Can they fight this round specifically, get themselves to double digits, smash away the economy of Baker? That's the biggest question.
Well, here we go. Head-on confrontation. A bit of support this time so Revenge doesn't get first-blooded. Ladder Moves knows how to lurk, but it's Revenge that knows how to trade, and so does Win. Back and forth, blow for blow, the 3v3. I'll say it, Fisher College coming on top because that Orbital Strike is still online.
3v3, though. We're just playing completely opposite sides. That ultimate orb will be gathered, Showstopper picked.
My goodness, both of them had their sight lanes at Underpass. That was going to be a bloody lineup, and it's still a safe contact as the information comes online.
Nice neural theft there. That information you talked about is good, and they're just going to back off. Baker Swarm doesn't want to overinvest, sending it to him. Blast wants to find freebies, and
don't think you think that. You have a trap wire to do that for you.
Yeah, just wait. Just hold them out here, and if they try and send it, you still have that orbital laser to fight late in case you want to. Nami's going to enter. Tripwire destroyed. Blast doesn't get anything on the initial spray, but Jeffy's still alive. So much information. Showstopper to the feet. It'll work. Nami, though, is all down to 1 as Blast finds a double kill on the backside of things. Blast is just too good!
Wow, double digits secured off of another Canteen timing, right? The Canteen timing giveth and it taketh from the Hijinks 3K to the Blast 3K clutch. But once again, it feels like Fisher College is louder, is more impactful. So much so that Dumbbell expends the final timeout for Baker Swarm. Again, first to the punch, much like over on Fine. But last time it was, again, a 9-11 that it was so close, right? We were fully convinced this was going to at least be a tied game, like it ended up being. Here, 6-10? I don't feel like that things right now are in Baker Swarm's favor. They didn't get that third round bonus. They weren't denied round after round of Fisher. This is a difficult spot to be in for a coach.
They've got to talk it over, one ultimate to work with that requires a kill to activate. Getting to see the look here as another check-in on Northwood University. It looks like they're probably going to that map number 3, but
12-8, probably 12-9, in a what, 1v5? But, like we said, that's our certified timeout check-in, but here we go. Let's see, what do you do? Baker Swarm, you already invested the Showstopper from Nami, they got the one and done. After it came online, Orbital Strike is on the flip side. This is going to be a pretty high and dry round. I'd say Baker Swarm, if it's an eco, you may just be trying to orb farm, play this out for the OT perspective, because it feels inevitable at this point, especially with the eco killer for Cuz online, that this would be an 11th.
Ooh.
Speaking of Cuz, 6 and 14. But I think like half those kills are from the operator, so I'm okay with the sniper rifle. Let's see it kickstart the system.
It's always kind of funny to me when duelists are at the bottom, and you know, it's just because they take so many of those 50-50 outer side duels, they can go either way. Fisher College, this is a round you don't want to lose, to say the least.
I like that they slow down and spawn though, right? We've seen it. When they don't show presence fast enough, that A main space converts into A main take, and that's when you could have punished that. If they got into you, just walked into contact style. But that's exactly what they're going to do, but it's delayed, right? They started with a plan, an idea to make that contact, to shut down an A split, and they stay out of the way of the stack now as well to deter this eco.
Blast is in, once again, a very fragile position that's going to be reinforced.
But he's all the way back in spawn, right? So it's kill trips ideally on these entries, and then your team will reflood in. You play retake together, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
Blast doubles them up here. It's another takedown from Cuz. This round has fallen down to the shoulders of 2. Fisher College, they'll give him the plant. The Prowler is going to connect. Ladder Moves will at least get 1 kill back on the investment, but Blast has found the 3K. This round is all but over. Ladder Moves just try to survive and thrive. It's a double kill on Cuz, but the defuse is already in. And Ladder Moves finds the 3K at the end of it, but loses the round.
Man, you wonder what would happen if the Nightfall had come through, but again, a Stark investment that would have aided to no return. The eco round close, a 1v2 to cap it off, but Blast again. Just, this is what we needed to see from a Sentinel. Not being 23-9, but just, again, knowing the balance between playing retake and playing site anchor. And again, we've yet to see, I feel like, the raise on Baker Swarm utilize the fullest effect in getting past this Cypher util. When you've seen it enough times what these setups look like this half.
And this is a big one again for Baker. This is the round where you put all your eggs in one basket. You try and fight off this Nightfall and the Neural Theft. And for Fisher, it feels like they are the ones in the driver's seat of this semifinal. No more second chances here. One of the final collegiate events of the year. A big trophy to tally it all off, and only one team can knock themselves into the championship. Fisher edging closer and closer to that point.
Ooh. Spikes in spawn, players are scattered looking for openings from these early aggressions, and Fisher College isn't giving them anything. They've changed the tempo. They're playing so far back, aside from their race, but Cuz needs some kills. He's like, guys, this can't be my ending KDA. The stats! If this goes off, you'll are. And we'll see what Baker Storm can do. You kind of want them not to play this splintered when you have a Nightfall, though. So with the Seafault and the Silent Scale into main, it's in place to scale it on a site, but what do you do when that sees 3-4 on A?
I mean, especially with everybody being here, Cuz, talk about the shutdown, has the chance to play off the smoke. Sight gets the kill from the flames at the feet. The hot hands.
25 seconds left and they're trying to go B. The Cypher setup is still there.
Yeah.
Blast still there. This is not good. Revenge wasn't deep enough into this site.
And the problem is the rotations are so quick from Fisher as well. I don't even know that you get on site.
You have to adjust this here and now, right? If you're Fisher.
I mean, Blast has the Neural Theft if necessary, but gets the kill on the top side. It's actually hijinks and ladder moves to make this more doable. Plant is going down, 18 HP. No, it's the box denial. It's Psych with the step up. It's Fisher on series point.
One step, one round away from the grand finals of NECC Division 1 Nationals. And again, they use the brunt of the ultimates to get through that, but again, it's this change, this back and forth pendulum for Fisher College where they go from hyper-aggressive to hyper-passive that Baker Storm are having difficulties with and feel like they're always calling the complete opposite of. This round for Baker Storm, I kind of want to see what we saw on Bind. You remember what got them through Bind and got that comeback on the attack? 5 men up one avenue, round after round. And to me, that screams that Fracture is difficult for them because it's so complex, so many avenues. If they put all their eggs into a basket like Arcade, that might be their best strength, especially with these ults.
Oh, the daggers die immediately here, and Blast has put Demon in the dirt, maybe for the final time today. Blast walking out for the double kill. It's insane, the confidence here. What a Cypher can do. It's a plant, though, or not. They'll fake it. Jeffy just ends it. Snaps him in half. Fisher, it's the same story once again as they hold out Baker Storm. The initial takedown to map number 1, the takedown to map number 2. Baker Swarm had a really good angle in map number 1. It was a close one, but it is Fisher here at the end of the day that get the W. Yeah,
again, they had progress, it felt like, on this map, but it just was not enough to favor them in this series. That mental block versus Fisher still exists. Third time was not the charm, unfortunately, but it will be Fisher's way to get themselves into the final.